happy Thanksgiving, and thank you all for coming out and participating in this first new adventure. It's a live webcast, web chat. Feel free to chat on the side box and come on in, watch us. We have Lionel here, Matt Ashba, and I thank you so much for coming out today, Matt.
Thank you for inviting me. This is great.
Not a problem at all. As you're sitting in your office talking about trains, and this is exciting for me. So I do appreciate everyone being here, and this is hopefully a first of many. No one's really done this in the train industry. So I think this is hopefully a first of many, and I think it could turn into something big. Maybe first press releases, new items, what's coming out in catalogs. And today we're going to talk about a couple of things in the new Lionel catalog and also Christmas gifts and what to expect from Lionel. And again, Matt, thank you so much for coming out. And also, make sure you sign up for our emails for our Thanksgiving kickoff. So let's kick it off and talk about the 2014 Christmas boxcar, Matt. Now, this boxcar has been the bestseller every year. It's a staple. You know, everybody comes in, they want to add on to their Lionel train set, you know, get the newest boxcar. So what do you guys have for us this year?
Well, there's no better place to start than with the boxcar because it has become really a tradition for Lionel and for our customers too, who have been collecting our car for years, for many of our cars for years.
Right.
I think that this tradition goes back to the 80s at least. Maybe there are some of those that were done back in the 70s as well, but I'm sure there's some folks out there who've been collecting for a long time. This year for 2014, I think you have the car on your layout as you see in one of the cameras, but it's a very beautiful, well done car. It has the standard features that you typically see with our Christmas boxcars. You saw when he tilted that up that it has that nicer stamped metal frame, and it also has the die-cast metal sprung trucks. So you get the higher quality frame and trucks for this car. Of course, you get the opening doors. Of course, you get some really nice holiday decoration as well. So
you see the 2014 stamp right here.
Yeah, we have the year stamped on this car. I know there's a lot of people who really do prefer to have that year on there, so we made a special point to have that. And you'll also see stated boldly on there, we've got the Christmas message along the side. I know everybody likes at Christmas time to embrace the spirit of the year, and we're really happy with the car. We're just happy to continue this tradition that we've had, not only with the Christmas boxcar, but just Christmas in general for Lionel is really where a lot of us and the customers come together.
Yep, without a doubt. And just to chime in, I just see a comment about the nickel plate fur. Mm-hmm. They did arrive today, and they're going to be shipping out, so don't worry about that. A lot of people are excited about that. But back to the 2014 Christmas boxcar. I mean, everybody who comes to the store comes in, they want the newest boxcar, and it's really now a collection piece where, you know, families, they want a gift for their father, grandfather, or their sons, daughters, the wives even. So it's really one of these staple items that every year everybody wants to see, what does the new 2014 Christmas boxcar look like?
Yeah, keep in mind too, Ken, that this is U.S. made. As you know, we're starting to expand the number of cars that we're doing that are assembled and decorated here in the U.S. And now, not only do we have the box cars, but we also have flat cars and we have tank cars too. So we're really happy that this special Christmas car can be part of that U.S.-made line, and we're looking forward to, as we move forward, hopefully to bring more and more of our product here to the States to be building, assembling, decorating, etc.
Without a doubt. Now we'll kind of move on to the next topic. We'll keep it Christmas theme, and you know, this year is the first year for the 10th anniversary Polar Express. I mean, this is probably one of the biggest movies for trains. I mean, it really propelled the industry and propelled trains to, you know, remain constant with people. And kids love it. They know it. They watch the movies all the time, and now you're doing a special release, the 10th anniversary, and I guess a couple of difference. I'm not sure if you want to explain them.
Sure. Yeah, who would have expected 10 years ago that the Polar Express would have continued its popularity and grown its popularity for so long? We're, of course, really happy about that. I know my kids are, too. Every year we bring back that video to watch. And, of course, we have the book as well. But for the 10th anniversary, which is this year, and also keep in mind, next year is the 30th anniversary of the book, the original book. Right. But we do have a special... We have a special release this year, an 10th anniversary release of the set. Now, as far as the differences that you had mentioned, Ken, you do get the original higher details that are on this engine. So, for instance, on that locomotive, you'll have the separately applied metal handrails, both on the locomotive as well as on the tender. Yep, as you see along the sides there. And decoration-wise, they're, of course, very similar to what you see with the classic Polar Express from the movie. But you also get with the anniversary set, I don't know if you can see it in there or not, but there's special an anniversary logo on that engine.
Right here, and I'm not sure if you can see it that well on the camera, but it does say the 10th anniversary special decal. It looks great.
I think you should see that on the passenger cars as well, but like you said, it might be hard for our viewers to see.
Yep, let's scroll over to the passenger cars, and right here, we do have that decal. Yes, you are right on it.
So keep in mind, this is a Lion Chief set. As you know, really Lion Chief is what Lionel has really been focusing on lately, replacing the older Transformer style control. But with the Lion Chief system, you're also getting a lot of extra features, and that includes sounds as well. As I think I just heard you play, you've got the special all aboard and ticket announcements. And I think you'll find, too, that there are special ones that are included specifically for this 10th anniversary set.
Yes, I did notice that because I play with trains all the time working here, and I do notice the differences. So, I'm not sure if you can see here Tom Hanks. Very cute.
Very cool. And keep in mind, too, this set comes with not only the bell and the figures that you get in the traditional one, but we also put in a special Polar Express girder bridge included in this package. So, really, it's the top-of-the-line set that we've had for 10 years, and this is really the deluxe version of that.
Without a doubt, and I think the main thing also is that you were able to keep the list price down, and, it's selling at, for us at least, selling at the same price as the regular set. So if you don't have a Polar Express or even do and want, a special edition, this is the set to get. And, so it's definitely been our best seller so far this year.
And of course, there are a lot of great add-ons for this, too. Whether you have the set or not, and if you want to get this special decoration, that's great. But of course, go through our Christmas catalog. Take a look at all the Polar Express items we have. There's really no one else out there compared to Lionel of what we provide for the Polar Express name for enjoyment around the holidays and things that really you can interact with the whole family and your children.
Without a doubt here, and we'll try to move this set here, but we got a lot of Polar Express figures. They got the caribou, the wolves and rabbits, the regular figures, engineers, and also I'm not sure if you can see right here where I'm standing, just to move this a little, but there is the Polar Express water tower. You have the station platform, the girder bridge. If you get the 10th anniversary, you do get the girder bridge as well. So there's tons of Polar Express items that you can add on to.
Yeah, and that includes not only the traditional items that maybe there's some new folks out there that are new to trains. We've got product for you. You guys have product for them. And for you guys who really appreciate the high detail and high scale items, we even have scale items in the Polar Express name as well.
Without a doubt. And now I guess we'll keep on going and kick it to Anthony had a question if the 10th anniversary will be valuable, collectible if not open. It really depends on collectability nowadays. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. So I would just keep on checking eBay. But yes, it tends to be that anything on.
And keep in mind too that there are a lot less of this special edition set made than all the other Polar Express. So there is a limited run of these, and so as time goes on, it's certainly going to be rarer. Whether or not it's collectible as time moves on, we don't know, but it's certainly going to be harder to find.
Yeah, I mean, there's only going to be one 10th anniversary. This is it. And yeah, someone also mentioned that you didn't know it was correlated with the movie, but it is Tom Hanks recording. I mean, it's unbelievable. It sounds just like him, and they just take the sound clip. Just unbelievable.
Yeah, straight from the movie.
And okay, so let's go on to Frosty the Snowman. And so basically, during Christmas time, most people, everybody comes in. They need that train around the tree. And this year, you guys, this is a brand new release of Frosty the Snowman set.
You bet. Lionel has really been spreading its wings with some very special licenses and relationships with some other companies and names. You know, the Frosty the Snowman, what a perfect fit for trains for Lionel. There is, of course, the classic train that takes Hocus Pocus and Santa and Karen. They're all going up to the North. It does have the train connection. But I know I grew up watching the Frosty the Snowman special. My kids watch it now too. It's just one of those things that are part of our family. We do have the ready-to-run Lion Chief train set, which I'm not sure if you have that. Oh, there we have it right there. That is an 080 locomotive. You have a hopper with that, and a traffic cop cake shop reefer, and a caboose on there as well. This is a ready-to-run train set for those of you who might be new to Lionel. That's going to come with your track, your complete oval of track, all the cars that you see there with some really cool Frosty decoration. And you're going to be running that with a remote control like you see here. It's DC powered. You plug it right into your wall, and that plugs into your terminal track on your layout, and you're ready to go right out of the box. So if you give this as a gift at Christmas time under the tree, that morning those kids can be playing with that set.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think the best part about these sets is just the line to plus remote. I mean, you're able to control multiple things at the same time. I mean, it's groundbreaking for the industry. I mean, it's comical. Right now, it's a ball to play with. I'm just playing off the sound.
Yeah, you whether it's yourself or with your friend or whatnot, you have the ability on the same track, even if you want, to be running multiple engines. That's something that you couldn't do with a transformer control.
It gives you that Christmas time item for around the tree. Polar Express, you can either run it, for Christmas time or all year round. And, you guys offer so many sets, and also traditional if you're into the Transformer, but also the Lion Chief Plus. Let's take a look here.
You also have with Frosty, keep in mind that it's not just the set, but just like Polar, we've got a lot of peripheral or side project products that support the Frosty set. So if you want to get the train station, with the Ticket Man, you can get that, or you can get a separate sailed boxcar and some other choices too.
Yeah, and that's one good thing about you guys. You don't just leave the consumer with just one starter set. You have those nice add-on features, the aquarium car, the figures, the stations, the buildings. So you could keep on adding on to your starter set. And, with that being said, you also have those expansion sets. So all these sets come with the fast track Pretty much. You want to go into, I guess, the fast track add-ons a little bit?
Oh, sure, you bet. Yeah, with any entry level set, it comes ready to run. You get your basic oval of track basically. But as you're showing right there, Ken, you can buy. You just add to your existing oval.
Right.
So it's just what you need to create a new configuration. You'll notice in our Christmas catalog, for the first time ever, we've actually highlighted two configurations. As you're showing there, we've got packs you can just buy. But we also show you what pieces to pick up if you want to create two special Christmas or holiday layouts that would go specifically under your Christmas tree, for instance. So look in our Christmas catalog, and you'll see the template or the design for what track pieces you would need for that.
Right, without a doubt. And, it's great for the consumer. They can just add on a track pack, nice and easy. And the best part about Fast Track is you don't need a cable anymore. You can put it on plug it. It just snaps in quick, easy together. And actually, I'm not sure if we have any new listeners new to the Lionel product, but this is what the Fast Track looks like. It just snaps in, durable, easy. It's very hard to break, very sturdy, so it's a great product.
I'm just answering a question for somebody right now. I'll just let them know. They asked if Lionel will be using Lion Chief Plus engines in a starter set. Right now, as we've defined really our line, we have Lion Chief, and then Lion Chief Plus has a lot of added features. Right. We really, at this point in time, are really happy with this sort of separation. You get your entry level, ready to run train set with Lion Chief, and if you want to expand to more features, more sophistication and technology, you can buy that separate sale engine. That's not to say in the future that we won't ever have a train set with a Lion Chief Plus, but for now, that really helps us define what our line is, and people know what they're getting that way, from whether it's a train set or separate sale.
Yeah, so Matt, you asked the difference between Lion Chief and Polar Express, and Polar Express is Lion Chief for the 10th anniversary. So Lion Chief is basically stands for the remote control for the unit. If you have a regular starter set with a conventional transformer, that's just a hand, regular transformer. So that's kind of the old school transformer. The Lion Chief is new age technology.
So really, everything the new stuff that we're putting out for the train sets really comes with a Lion Chief remote in the Lion Chief system. Although I know a lot of people, and still you can at your store, sell sets that are operated still by a conventional transformer.
Right, without a doubt. And let's, I guess, move on to some big stuff.
I do want to mention. Can I mention one more thing about the track? Also, we have a separate catalog for track and power, which you might be aware of. Yeah, there we go, right there. If you look on page 24, for instance, you're going to see different layout options that you can purchase or that they show for what we have to offer. But also in there's some specialty information on different types of configurations that you may want to build, and we tell you specifically what pieces to buy for that, and also some full layouts views of things you might want to build. But my main point here, if I'm not being totally clear, is take a look at that track and power catalog if you're interested in expanding your layout, because we have a lot of good information there that includes what pieces you would need to buy to make those types of setups.
Right. And so now moving on to some of the big stuff, and I was told my microphone works better somewhere else, but it's going to be hard to hold for sure. But you guys came out with this monstrosity, the Lionel cab forward. I can't lift up the tender because I don't have 3 arms, but this is something that is just unbelievable. The detail is beautiful. It smokes. Legacy operated. Just really, really nice.
Yeah, it's in real life, it's 132 feet long, that engine. So it is a beast, and it makes perfect sense why at Elko, when they were building those, somebody called that the big boy, and the name stuck. It's for Lionel, that's a 1/48 scale piece, as a die-cast metal locomotive and tender. You can attest to the weight of that piece. It really is a beast. But the beauty of the big boy, which is really our spotlight piece for 2014, we announced it as early as the end of 2013, and the interest in the piece was phenomenal. It's not just the engine, though; it's what Lionel puts into this, into the engine. You've got it's considered a vision locomotive. As a vision locomotive, we use that engine to spotlight. That's for the cab forward.
Yeah, this is the tender. I just wanted to show people.
Gotcha.
If they weren't able to see it, I'll put it on the other counter.
We use the vision line to really spotlight new technology, new innovation that we're doing in our highest end scale O gauge line. And you'll see with this such features as dual smoke. There's 2 smokestacks on the top of that, and each of those smokestacks has its own smoke unit. That's the first time that we have done that. You also get blow-down smoke along the sides.
Wow.
You get you get dual sounds as well. That means you not only get your typical speakers in the tender, but you also have a speaker in the locomotive as well. And you've probably heard that engine run, and it's probably one of the best sounding engines that we've ever done. You've got that beautiful, heavy speakers sound that's coming not only for the tender, but also from the locomotive. It just sort of envelops the room in that sort of realistic steam engine sound that we all just love to hear.
Without a doubt. And I'm not even sure if you even talked about the depleting coal load, too.
I haven't even mentioned that. I mean, I could go down a list of lots of different things with that, but one of the biggest sort of eye-openers for this engine was a depleting coal tender. And if you're not familiar with what that is, it is the first time that this has ever been done in O gauge. You basically have a tender that's filled with coal that, as this engine is being used, and depending on how much you are using this engine, that coal it actually lowers and depletes from that tender. So as you're running around the track, at a certain point, that coal is completely depleted from a profile view, and you really have to stop and have to refill your coal load. And so you've got a nice little scenario and visual that you can use for yourself or show off to visitors with that depleting coal tender effect.
You know, this piece is probably one of the highly anticipated engines ever in history, and our pre-orders, are huge on this number or this piece. So we do have a couple of pieces extra. So if you haven't gotten your pre-order in, make sure you pre-order it. I mean, you guys definitely hit a home run with this piece. Everybody's talking about it. It's so many new features. The big boy, everybody knows the big boy. And what I find not kind of fascinating is that people aren't even buying it just to run on their layouts. They want it as a mantelpiece, just to put in their office. I mean, this thing is heavy duty. It's the Ferrari of trains.
Yeah, and I noticed that Bill Y and Matt have mentioned that they've some viewers right now have mentioned that they are waiting for their big boy. So that's great to hear. I want to remind everybody that these are shipping and they will be arriving in December. So Santa ought to have that engine for you under the Christmas tree for this year.
Wow, that would be great. And also, going back to the cab forwards, the SP Daylight paint scheme, which is the fantasy paint scheme. And actually, I saw a pre-production model when Lionel came out to our store, and it looks amazing. It's really nice, and that should be in the same time, December range.
Yeah.
So you guys have a lot of products shipping out.
Yeah, that cab forward that you're talking about in Southern Pacific Daylight, a beautiful engine. Lionel not only are we following to be as true as we can to real prototypical schemes, but we also like to be imaginative and inventive too in ways that we think our customers will respond. And
Right.
seeing that AC-12 cab forward in the daylight scheme is just really awesome.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And I know a lot of people, they say, well, it's not the real thing. When people see this thing,
Yeah.
it's like, wow, it is just beautiful. I mean, I have train enthusiasts from all over, and they either stop in or they give me a call over the phone. And some of them have very large collections, and it's just unbelievable. They're excited for that, and they're probably going to pick one up for sure.
Yeah, now both, using the big boy and the cab forward as examples. Lionel now, beginning this past year, really, it's starting to kick in. We
Right.
really are building our high-end locomotives as build to order. So
Right.
it really is important for you guys, if you're interested in a locomotive that you hear about or see in our catalog, go to your train dealer and put your order in, because you're not going to see these engines recataloged anymore. They're going to come. We're going to produce them to the orders, and that's really going to be it. So you've got these very special engines that if you do want them, it's really important that you put your order in up front.
Yeah, this built to order thing, I mean, the Berkshires are just starting to come out, and everybody's scrambling right now to get their hands on one. I've been trying to call up our distributors, and even Lionel has been sold out, so I've had to go to other distributors, and everybody's feeling the same thing. You know, they missed the boat on pre-ordering, and now Christmas time is coming, and they saw it in a store or they see a video of it, and they're going crazy, and it's a very short, limited quantity. So, you know, if you missed out on the Berkshires, you know, you still have some great product coming out, probably your best product ever before. You got the cab forward SP Daylight paint scheme. We still have some of the tuxedo black paint schemes here, and also the big boy. I mean, that's the biggest piece, for sure.
And keep in mind, these engines that you mentioned, and they have the new whistle steam smoke effect too. We've got that special effect in more engines this year than we've ever done before. And that's a good example of how we may have a feature that we introduce as vision. Our goal is to try to get some of those features to work their way through the line. That's one that probably more than any other feature that I've heard, besides the new depleting coal tender, which everybody loves.
Right,
This whistle steam smoke effect is a knockout. It's a home run for all of us, for viewers that come to look at your engines, and running them for that sort of real prototypical look. So really excited about some of these engines.
You guys are gonna have to actually, we're gonna have to create a new layout just to put the big boy on, so we could run this thing for customers, because it's just an absolute showstopper. I know it's already the biggest thing in trains, so we're excited for that. Now let's kind of move on to this new thing, the Line Chief Plus. And I saw a customer before ask if you're going to put the Line Chief Plus engines in starter sets. So I'm not sure if that's true or not. I'm not sure if you could answer. This is kind of like a pre-thing. But these are probably the hottest engines out on the market now. They're affordable. They have great sounds. And you're getting the remote control like this. And you're controlling the trains throughout your living room. You know, if you want to sit on the couch, you could sit on the couch. It's just amazing what you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Lion Chief, they all share that same basic format of using that remote to control your engines. Now, I know a lot of folks who are online here are familiar with it already, but I think there's some folks that might not be as well. So just keep in mind that with the Lion Chief Plus, we're taking a lot of the high-tech features and we're putting it in a more affordable engine, and one that you may be able to run on tighter curves as well. Not everybody can run a big boy, which demands those really wide curves. We have a traditional line with some really great engines, including for Line Chief Plus for steam, the Pacifics and the Hudsons and the Mikados, and there's the new Camelback that's in the catalog right now.
Right.
Lots of road names to choose from, right? And
Yeah,
then
sure.
diesels as well. We've got the NW2 and the Jeep 20 and the RS3 and the Jeep 7. All of these run from the remotes. They can be they can run with a DC power. They can also be run with your powered by your AC transformer. You also have a switch on the bottom of those engines that allows you to switch how you want to control these. If you run from a transformer layout, you can just switch that switch on the bottom and you can switch it to AC control. Once you do that, you put down your remote, you grab your transformer with the throttle, and you're all set to go. You can do that with Lion Chief Plus, but you can't do that with Lion Chief.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys could really see the engine that I'm flipping over, but what's great about this is the dual modes that you could run. You could run it through Lion Chief Plus with a remote or conventional, and it's as simple as a switch. It's just amazing. So you guys really made it simple to use for the regular consumer.
Yeah, and you also have the switches on the bottom there as well for your smoke and your background sounds as well. You can also control the volume with your remote control to adjust the volume of your locomotive. But you mentioned, Ken, earlier, these engines have electrocouplers. So the diesels have one on each end, and the steam have one electrocoupler on the end. Most of the diesel locomotives have dual smoke and dual motors. And this is fan-driven smoke as well. These are features that you see typically on our scale engines. And we're just really happy to have these in a wider variety of product. Are these going to show up in ready-to-run train sets? Probably not anytime soon. And the main thing is we want our ready-to-run train sets. That's our entry door into Lionel, into O-Gauge, and into family fun. But at any point along the way, you can expand what you have. You can expand your track system. You can add more prototypically correct or sophisticated features on your engines. As much as you want to grow in the hobby, Lionel can offer that for you.
Yeah, I mean, the sounds are just unbelievable. I'm not sure if you can hear the digital chop. That is synchronized. It's unbelievable. The lighted firebox, smokes. It's just unbelievable, and it's at an affordable price. I mean, engine with sound, smoke. And did you talk about the uncoupling?
Oh, sure. On your, I want to make a mention. One. Have, as you played right there, some crew-oriented talk and announcements. He's correct in that in our scale engines, there are a number of them. We no longer have these road-specific announcements where it's, for instance, naming the specific road number of that engine.
Gotcha.
So I feel what he's saying for that. But what you're getting with this engine, as far as crew talk and tower comm type announcements, there's a great variety of sounds that you get with this. So not only do you get your bell and your whistle, but you also get the middle button on these have special announcements that really change depending on whether that engine is at a standstill or has been in motion. So it changes how you're playing depending on the environment and what you're doing with it. As far as the electrocouplers, you've got one button on your remote for that, or two for the diesels, that with a push of a button, you can disengage that coupler automatically and have that locomotive separate from the train consist behind it. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys could hear it, but it is just unbelievable. I mean, you could uncouple. You're an actual conductor when you're playing with this. And you hear that, it's just uncoupled, and you're breaking away the train. It's just, it's the coolest, latest technology, and I really think this is going to help propel the train industry into, even everybody's hands. I mean, everybody is going to want this thing, for sure.
And as you pointed out earlier, it's not just about playing with one engine. It's about you being with your friend, and you each have your own remote, and you're each talking to your own engine, and there's no interference. Even if you had a legacy system all set up, which is a different operating system, there's no interference from one to the other. As long as that your power is up at 18, 17, or 18 volts, you and John and Frank, Aaron, or whomever can all be operating their own engine with their own remote, and you can all have your own fun together.
Yeah, I mean, you're really bringing fun back into trains. Howard Hitchcock was actually here, and he was racing my father on our layout with the two remotes, and that was the first time you guys introduced it, and we couldn't even believe it, and it was amazing. My father was excited, and we ordered tons of sets because we believed in this product so much, and we still do. And you guys keep on raising the bar, and I really do appreciate that. With the big boy, your high-end Vision Line items, with the Line Chief Plus, the affordability, your starter sets. I mean, we have starter sets at such great price points that people walk in and they look at the value. You're getting track, a Line Chief Plus engine, cars, the power supply. You're getting all that ready to go, ready around the Christmas tree at great price points. So you're really trying to get the average consumer into the hobby. And once they get in, I mean, you guys offer everything. So a really broad range.
Absolutely. There, as most of our fans know or customers know, we've got a different catalogs that have different types of product in them. Make sure you get a chance to go to your hobby store if you're new to this. Pick up some catalogs. Our newest Christmas one is this one here. It's really we're right around the corner, Ken, for Christmas, aren't we?
Without a doubt. And if you could see that smoke, I mean, it's just unbelievable. I'm not sure if you can see it through the video cam, but
yeah, that's a fan-driven smoke on on some of those engines, and you have the sound, as you could hear and see, is synchronized with the puff and chuck of that steam. Very realistic.
Oh, without a doubt, this is probably one of the best smoking units I've ever seen. It's getting pretty cloudy in here. But, yes, like you said, I mean, Lionel has tons of catalogs. Come in our stores, check it out. Go to Trainworld.com, shop online 24/7. I mean, Lionel and Trainworld have been partners for such a long time. It goes back to my grandfather, and we've built an amazing relationship together. And this is hopefully the first of many webcasts that we will present to you. But this is just awesome. Thank you so much, Matt, for coming by. And I'll probably kind of be here just to answer questions. So I'll be in the chat room. I'll try to answer anything. And Matt, I thank you so much for coming out. I do appreciate it.
Thank you for giving Lionel a chance to talk about our product. We're just really happy to have this relationship and to be able to do things like this. And I'm sure we'll do more along these lines in the future.
Without a doubt, and you're great on web TV. You look very nice.
The camera lies then. I'll also stick around a little bit, and if people have specific questions, they might have been on to ask a certain question. I'll do my best to answer some of them, and if I can't answer it, I'd be happy to try to get information to somebody. But in any case, I'll stick around a little bit too.
Yeah, if anything, you guys could send us an email. But I do apologize if we did miss anyone's comments. It's kind of hard to read and point out everything and talk about everything at the same time. But we'll do our best to review some questions and get back to you. All right. Next time, we'll bring you something even bigger, even special. And again, you could get all your favorite Train products, Lionel products, at Trainworld.com. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.